I will read for you from this King James Version Bible from 1944, one of the key verses about Jesus' coming, where he himself speaks. And I'm telling you, this is such an amazing verse and so important to understand. And it's always, as I heard it in many churches who preach so-called pre-tribulation rapture doctrine, taken out of context. Don't do this. Just don't. Okay, let's go into Matthew chapter 25, beginning in verse 31, where Jesus speaks about himself coming. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them from one another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. In this verse we see that Jesus defines how his coming looks like, as he did already in Matthew 24, where he says, the Son of Man comes in his glory, great glory, with power, with his angels, with armies of angels. The same image is here in Matthew 25. And this exact coming is used by Paul and Peter and John in their letters to describe to the churches how the coming of Jesus looks like. There is no other coming. It's always the same coming that Jesus already talked about in his Gospels. And you will see that because the glory is the important point here. The glorification is the resurrection of the dead into eternal life. And it is the harpazo, the so-called rapture of the believers into glory. Paul writes to Titus in Titus 2 verse 13 that we as believers are waiting for the blessed hope, the glorious appearing of our God Jesus Christ. And this glorious appearing of him in glory is the same glorious appearing that Jesus explained in the Gospels, in Matthew 24, Matthew 25, Luke 21, Mark chapter 13. It is the day of redemption, the day that Jesus wants us to look for. It is the last day, the day of judgment, where we will be glorified, where the resurrection of the dead happens, of all the dead, as Jesus says in John 5. There will come an hour when everyone